Hey guys, John to Quinn here, the author of Someone Like Me. Time for my weekly video blog. Yesterday I was sitting here in the condo watching a program on television called E60. It's produced by ESPN. It's an hour-long program covering people in sports, more of the human interest side of things. And again, it's usually a sports connection because it's on ESPN. Yesterday they had a segment on a father pushing his son through a road race. Think of Dick Hoyt and his son Rick, and that's kind of thing. And I was sitting here thinking, I've really seen quite a few of these being put out there to the American public. Now they're great stories. Great effort is put forth by these individuals. And it's, I'm not downgrading the effort at all. But I think it's time we move past these stories, because when the American public, that's all they see are stories about young children being pushed in road races. When they see stories about young children with cerebral palsy winning a match on the wrestling mat, and then being flown to Good Morning America to meet Rulon Gardner, who puts a medal around this boy's neck. It just there's other stories out there. We got to broaden the scope of what cerebral palsy is. People just think, okay, it's just children. Nothing could be further from the truth. And I also think that when people see these stories, they sit back and they think, well, what a loving and tolerant society we live in. Well, okay, if you want to be loving and tolerant to those of us with cerebral palsy, I got a few suggestions. How about we cut the red tape for parents who are battling the government so that they can get physical therapy for the kids more than twice a month? Huh? How about we increase the funding for CP causation research? Right now there's $0 in the federal budget for this. And again, cerebral palsy, it affects 17 million people in the world, over 800,000 people in the country. How about we talk about adults that are doing great things in society? How about we talk about kids that are going to college and doing great things? You don't hear those stories. We don't hear those stories. And why is that? Well, because it's easier to talk about, the 10-year-old in the wheelchair instead of the 30-year-old who's out there, owning a business or working in a hospital. There's a surgeon, Jan Bronstrom, who is a surgeon in St. Louis with cerebral palsy. And I bet you didn't know that Dick Hoyt's son, Rick, has a college degree. You don't hear that because that doesn't play into the narrative of the story, you see. So we need to broaden these stories out there. And when I travel the country and I talk to companies and organizations, I don't want to know, what's wrong with you. I want to know what's right with you. What are you working on? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are your desires? What are you working on? What are your goals? What are you doing? And that's, I think that's where the focus needs to be. The media will only cover, this small segment of society, but they're not going to cover these kids when they're 21, 31, 41, 51. They're not going to do that. It's going to stop. They're going to find the next story. Cerebral palsy. Kids with cerebral palsy, they grow up to be adults with cerebral palsy. Just a warning. I'm telling you right now. So let's broaden the focus. And let's talk about what people are doing and achieving in society. And let's get the focus off the disability and on the ability of people. If we do that, I think we'll be a lot better off as a society. That's my thoughts. My name is John Quinn. If you haven't read my book, pick up a copy of Someone Like Me. Go to my website, johnwquinn.com. Thanks a lot, guys. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you're all doing well, and have a great week. Bye-bye.